ACLU has long been synonymous with freedom of speech. They defended it from even the most hated groups like the Nazis, the Klan, even the Jehovah's Witnesses. It was never about what you were saying. It was about the liberal principle of your right to say it. Well, they have new guidelines now, namely that before taking a case, ACL lawyers should consider if the case might cause offense to marginalized groups, or if a potential client's values are contrary to our values. Contrary to our values? Your values are free speech and the First Amendment. Those are your values. Your whole purpose in life is not to be worried about offense to marginalized groups, because we understand that free speech is an even more important value than never being offended.
So here's the picture. Imagine trying to make sense of modern life while everything you thought you understood suddenly feels upside down. And right in the middle of all this confusion steps Bill Maher. Yes, that Bill Maher, who has practically become a cultural commentator in real time. He recently dropped a major truth bomb, arguing that many American companies and institutions have lost their sense of direction because of what he calls woke culture. It's like watching a once steady ship slowly drift off course. Maher didn't hesitate to call out networks like TLC and A&E. He pointed out that instead of creating meaningful content, they're now pushing shallow, low-quality shows, all while pretending it's in the name of diversity. This group, once known for defending free expression, now seems to value emotions over principle.
Playboy put a gay man on the cover, which I guess we're supposed to celebrate, even though it was 2021 and there's already a dozen magazines for gay guys, 13 if you count Martha Stewart Living. Do we really need LGBT representation in Playboy? There's a transgender teenager on every show on television except reruns of Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea.
Maher's sharp criticism isn't just him taking shots, it's a clear warning. He argues that constant virtue signaling is weakening what truly matters by replacing real engagement with empty gestures. And if you like this kind of straightforward honesty and direct conversation, go ahead and tap the subscribe button. It helps keep these discussions alive and ensures you never miss new updates. Every subscription is a small sign of support that lets us continue bringing you fresh insight into these fast-changing topics. Now, let's keep going. We're exploring the tangled web of cultural contradictions Maher has been calling out so strongly. His commentary centers on how major American brands, once celebrated symbols of creativity and authenticity, have surrendered to the trends of modern ideology. These companies were once associated with trust and solid values.
A in A&E stands for arts. Seriously, they used to show the symphony. Now they have Deep Fried Dynasty, Hoarders, Storage Wars, Ghost Hunters, and Psychic Kids. You know, for people who find the Learning Channel too intellectual.
They used to stand for something substantial, right?
If you become the opposite of what you always were, you have to change your name. It's become a trend in America these days, morphing into something completely different from what you were founded as, but still pretending you're the old you. TLC stands for the Learning Channel. They used to have shows like Learn to Read and Ready, Set, Learn. Here's some of their present and recent offerings. Cake Boss, Gypsy Sisters, Toddlers and Tiaras, Extreme Couponing, What Not to Wear, My Teen is Pregnant and So Am I. 1,000-Pound Sisters and Alaskan Women Looking for Love. And that's just the shows about the Palins.
But today, it's hard to recognize what they used to stand for. Take TLC, originally the Learning Channel. It once focused on educational shows and content designed to spark curiosity. Those days are long gone. The channel traded its mission for shows like Extreme Couponing and Toddlers and Tiaras, turning itself into a spectacle-driven reality network.
History Channel has no history, and MTV has no music. I'm just saying, you can buy a petting zoo and turn it into a bondage dungeon, but you gotta change the sign.
Instead of teaching anything meaningful, the content now feels more like watching a mess unfold than learning something new. According to Maher, TLC didn't fade away. It abandoned its purpose for profit and appearances. Now, calling it the Learning Channel feels more like sarcasm than branding. Next up is A&E. This network once took pride in promoting art and high-quality entertainment. There was a time when viewers expected thoughtful documentaries or performances that made you think. But those days have slipped away. Modern A&E leans heavily on shows like Storage Wars and Hoarders, trading artistic depth for quick, easy attention grabbers. As Maher points out, the arts portion of arts and entertainment has nearly vanished, leaving only content that entertains without challenging anyone. Maher argues that these companies fit a larger pattern. Their traditional names carry a sense of trust and legacy, yet their current content clashes with those values. They see
What's going on with the Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue, which now celebrates all kind of bodies except, the good kind. Was it really such a crime against humanity to have one magazine once a year that was about finding creative ways for supermodels to hide their... Now it looks like it's edited by the Huffington Post. Jeez, you have every other magazine. Do you hate Dad that much?
Seem to hope no one notices how far they've drifted, relying on their respected titles while producing content that doesn't live up to them. Moving beyond television, Maher turns to another well-known brand, Playboy. Once seen as a symbol of bold masculinity and a cultural icon in its prime, Playboy decided to embrace the trend of woke branding. By placing a gay man on its cover, the company claimed it was promoting diversity, even though such representation is already widespread across modern media. Maher argues that this wasn't a brave or meaningful decision. It was an attempt to follow trends at the cost of the magazine's identity. Instead of standing confidently in its own lane, Playboy ended up distancing longtime supporters who valued its original voice. And then there's Sports Illustrated, known especially for its swimsuit edition. The magazine once featured models chosen for creativity and traditional beauty standards. Now, as Maher jokes, the publication seems determined to showcase every body type except the one it originally highlighted. These criticisms suggest that instead of genuinely supporting diversity, these changes water down what once made each brand distinct. What used to feel creative now comes across as another stage performance meant to look socially aware.
Valentine's Day, which was always a day to celebrate coupledom. It wasn't complicated. Flowers, chocolates, blowjob. And yet, every year now, I more and more hear this idea that Valentine's Day is also a day to celebrate being alone. Be your own Valentine. That's right, on the one day was specifically set aside to honor bonding between two people. Don't do that. Make it about the opposite of that. Be your own Valentine. Get your own cheap, stale chocolates at CVS.
Think about Valentine's Day, a holiday traditionally meant to celebrate love, connection, and close relationships. It used to center on couples enjoying a day dedicated to affection and togetherness. Maher argues that the holiday has been reshaped into a platform for messaging about self-love and independence. There's nothing wrong with appreciating yourself, of course, but the commercial push behind it often overshadows the joy of sharing meaningful moments with someone special. It highlights how simple celebrations can be overshadowed by overly dramatic attempts at empowerment that miss the original spirit of the day. Now let's shift to another surprising cultural change, one involving a long-standing tradition in Scouts.
Scouts of America used to be an organization for boys because girls have cooties. But now the Boy Scouts accept girls, which I guess is inclusive, but it ignores the very important need for boys to sometimes get together as boys to fart in a sleeping bag and laugh at that, which girls don't find funny. It also ignores the fact that there has always also been a scout troop for girls. You may have heard of it, the Girl Scouts.
The Boy Scouts of America made the decision to allow girls to join their ranks, marking a major change from the program's original design and purpose. According to Maher, this decision overlooks the important roles that each scouting program has traditionally played. It wasn't about excluding anyone. The Girl Scouts already offered a strong, established alternative. He makes a compelling point. The unique values and long-standing traditions of each organization are weakened in the pursuit of variety for its own sake. He examines the body positivity movement in a similar light using Weight Watchers, now rebranded as WW, as an example.
Anything just be what it is anymore? Weight Watchers used to be a club for people to lose weight back when that was a good thing. Now we're so through the looking glass that obesity, the absolute undeniable #1 cause for ill health and death in America, is called body positivity. And people are shamed for losing weight. It happened to Adele. Weight Watchers are so intimidated, they changed their name to WW. Why not just call yourselves Wait, Don't Tell Me?
Maher points out how the program shifted away from emphasizing weight loss, seemingly out of concern over being labeled fatphobic. In his view, this move risks normalizing unhealthy habits and obscures the original goal of promoting wellness. The rebranding prioritizes political correctness over the core mission of health and fitness. At the heart of Maher's argument is a call for sincerity. Progress should come from genuine purpose, not from a competition to impress or gain approval. He urges these companies to reconnect with their true identity instead of following trends that, while popular, may compromise their integrity. Reinvention can be tempting, but staying true to foundational principles often serves better in the long run. So, what do you think? Have these businesses truly benefited from adopting woke culture, or have they drifted away from what made them strong in the first place? Share your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear your perspective.